Do you know how the human immune system fights against the coronavirus? The immune system has 3 lines of defense. The first line of defense is the skin and mucous membranes, which cover almost our entire body and can block most viruses from entering, and can even secrete antimicrobial substances when necessary. However, some clever viruses can still penetrate the skin and mucous membranes and enter the body. When the cell membrane of the body's cells is deceived by the virus's spike protein, it does not detect it. Finally, these viruses will begin to replicate rapidly in your body, creating a legion in just a moment. When the virus exceeds a certain number and can no longer hide its behavior, the second line of defense of the immune system will be activated. The main members include neutrophils, macrophages, and other cells, which are the defense functions that you have had since birth. They will come at the fastest speed and fight against the virus that is constantly eroding other cells. The battle between the virus and the immune system officially begins at this moment. However, due to the large number of viruses, macrophages cannot fight for a long time. At this time, they will quickly release a signal of inflammatory cytokines to seek help from more powerful immune cells, and then the third line of defense will begin to attack. Mainly composed of immune cells and immune organs. However, their immune function is not innate but gradually established in the struggle against pathogens. For example, if you are infected with a new virus this time, dendritic cells in your body will quietly collect virus fragments and hand them over to T cells and B cells. During the battle between a large number of immune cells and viruses. Next, T cells will become the main force in the battle against viruses, fighting against them one by one, while B cells will specifically produce antibodies against viruses, preventing them from continuing to replicate and divide. In the process of their mutual fighting, you can intuitively feel all discomfort, such as the continuous signaling of inflammatory cytokines to the hypothalamus. When captured, the hypothalamus will begin to regulate body temperature, which will usually increase body temperature to suppress virus replication and allow the immune system to eliminate it more quickly. Therefore, the phrase, "the virus cannot survive at 40 degrees, is not without scientific reason. But what you feel at the beginning is not high temperature, but coldness, and even constant chills. The dead cells and viruses in this war will constantly form snot and phlegm, and then be expelled from your body. In addition, the culprit of sore throat is also these viruses. When blood vessels expand and blood flow accelerates, immune cells will seep out from the blood vessels in large numbers and go to the infected areas to reinforce, which causes your throat to swell, and in severe cases, you may not be able to speak. Most importantly, in order to concentrate energy to recover from the virus, your body will also reduce some of the higher metabolic muscle energy on its own. In the process of continuous muscle contraction, a substance similar to lactic acid, which is produced after intense exercise, will be generated in the body. They will cause muscle soreness and weakness throughout the body. Now you know why you feel like you have been beaten all over your body after getting sick, right? Finally, when everything is settled, your body temperature will naturally return to normal as you sweat. This gives many people the illusion that when they have a fever, they should cover themselves with a thick blanket and sweat it out, but this is a big mistake. If you accidentally worsen the symptoms, it may even lead to dehydration and put yourself in a dangerous situation. Therefore, I would like to remind everyone that during this special period, do not deliberately sweat, because if any virus resists a bit, under the combination of multiple factors, You will have a feeling that the immune system completely ignores your life or death. In a sense, the immune system is indeed unrecognizable at this time. However, we must not casually define the immune system as a suicide system. We should know that all of its defense mechanisms are just to eliminate viruses. And in this battle without smoke, in order to protect your body, immune cells will also suffer countless injuries and deaths. We should be grateful for their efforts and exercise more to improve our own immune capabilities.